Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, Wrestling with Books, where today we have our first video since our Bookmas in July. Bookmas in July was a lot of fun, so thank you to everybody who watched that. We survived doing 31 days of content on this channel, and then I had a bit of burnout, but now it's like it's August. I want to get my July wrap-up up and talking about it, because doing daily content all for the month of July gave me a great opportunity to really focus on my reading for the month. So I'd love to tell you about some of what I read. Now, if this is your first time here, hello, my name is Nina. I hope that you will give this channel a chance to, make it to your booktube channel repertoire. I have been reading my entire life, but I really got into it, I guess, more as a true hobby, I'd say in like 2010, and then just started this channel within the past year. So since I was doing Bookmas in July last month, the first book that I read was The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan, C-O-L-G-A-N, and this was really cute. I actually did an individual review for this on my channel, so you can check that out if you want to hear more detail about it. But broadly, we have a girl, and her story is that she's kind of like the unsuccessful one between her and her sister. Right now she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have a boyfriend, and her mom sends her to live with her sister because her sister finds a job for her at this bookshop, and the bookshop owner is a bit of a hoarder, and he needs to start to make money on this shop in order to keep it. So I forget the girl's names, I keep saying the girl. The girl goes, works at the bookshop, makes a Christmas theme, saves the day. There's two different kind of love interests, but you know who the one is going to be, and it's really satisfying and cute. Like I said, I have a full book review for it, but if you I think, hopefully I shared enough that maybe you'll like it. The main character, she's really funny. She's a funny girl, and that's what I liked about it. And the two different guys that she talks to and mingles with, it's all very real and very real life. And then you have the Christmas feels of the Christmas bookshop. Christmas time of year, they go to, I think, a hot cocoa walk, so you get all the feely things, which, I feel that. Keeping with the Christmas theme, the next book I read was Pride, Prejudice, and Mistletoe by Melissa de la Cruz, and I looked up the name this time so I'd remember. It tells the story of a girl named Darcy. Now, of course, this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but it takes place during the holidays and in Ohio. So we have a girl named Darcy who left home because of the pressures to be perfect, the pressure to marry who her family wanted her to marry, etc. And she ends up becoming one of the wealthiest women in New York City at just 29. I know, very exciting. But she comes home for Christmas when her mother is sick and ends up staying for a while, and starts to have chemistry spark with Luke Bennett, and it tells the story of Darcy and Luke. And I have a standalone review for this on my channel if you want to hear more, but for now, just know gender switched, Pride and Prejudice retelling set at Christmas. What more do you need to know? Next up, I finished reading The Dragon Storm by Anthony DiPaolo, and this I have a standalone reading vlog for on my channel, because I got this book at an independent, it's from an independent seller, but I got it when he was selling them at our local street fair, and I said, well, that's the coolest thing ever. So I read it, and it is an archaeological paranormal thriller about Alexander Storm, who gets together a band of people to prevent the end of the world coming by having to figure out a series of clues written on these old ancient papyri, and they're going all over the world. It's a lot of fun. If you check out the reading blog, you can get more detail on it, but if you like archaeology and you like a twist of paranormal, and you want to give a self-published author a chance, check this one out. It was so good. I really loved it. Very exciting read. And another one I read this this month, July, was Mistletoe Cake Murder by Lena Gregory, and this is part of the an all-day breakfast cafe mystery. I'd gotten this from NetGalley, and because it was a Christmas book, I believe I did a standalone review for it for the 31 days. I believe I did. And this tells the story of two friends. Gia Morelli, and her friend is Savannah, and Savannah's getting married, and when they go to taste the cake, somebody dies. A woman named Robin tastes the cake and dies, but they believe someone poisoned it. Even though Gia and Savannah's boyfriends are both cops, they become nosy women and solve it on their own. So it's all just one of those cozy mysteries, cafe vibes, Christmas vibes. So if you like the cozy mysteries where it's not like a page turner mystery, it's just a mystery. It's just a mystery. And then next up, the image isn't coming up for the Goodreads listing, but I read The School of Whatnots by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I gave this one a standalone book review too. I love reading children's books. And this tells, it's a crazy concept. It's about a boy named Max. He's born to like the wealthiest family in the state, and they're afraid that he is going to be judged by other kids for his money instead of who he is. So they enroll him into school where his schoolmates are all like robot children. Then we get the story of Josie, who is born to a poor family, and they want her to have a good education. So she is undercover pretending to be one of those robot children so she can get a good education. Nuts. But the two become best friends and then fix this corrupted system. And that's that. The next book I read was The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And let me tell you, like, I love the secret books. I hated this book. I hated this book. This book is nothing but quotes from other people. And then she'll write like 2 seconds responding to the quote, like 2 lines. And then more quotes. It just felt really cheap, to be honest. I love the book The Secret, The Power. I love Law of Attraction books. But each one she's come out with, it just, after The Power, has gotten worse and worse. And this one was like, almost like offensive. I really did not like it. Next up for our July reads was a really cute one, guys. A Cat Cafe Christmas by Cody Gary. I mean, look at that. All the feels. I did a standalone book review on this too, so you can check it out there. And, you know, obviously this takes place with a cat cafe. So what more could you want? And this tells the story of Kara. She is a vet, and she is a co-owner of the cat cafe. And they want to get more funding so that they can do more veterinary care for the cats. And she runs into Ben, who is a marketing guru and wants to help give exposure to the cafe, but Kara has this resistance towards anything online media and the like. And we learned that's because of Kara's past. She was involved with somebody who ended up hacking onto her computer and scamming the charity, the animal charity she was working for, and stole all the donors' like information. And she became known in the media and speculated as an accomplice in the media, and so she hates all things social media. But that's what Ben uses and believes in to do marketing. So that's part of their tension and how they go from hate to love in this adorable Christmas tale. So I think you should add that one to your list if you're looking for some Christmas books. Now, I do like to read a lot of nonfiction books, and one of them was $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. This book is always going to be $1.99 or less as an ebook, and it's all about structuring your offers and your business and how to make a good offer, how to price the offer, just a lot of things about, look, that's the subtitle, how to make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. So it's about kind of having that no-brainer price for things, but still pricing yourself competitively and well. I really liked it. The last of the Christmas books I read was A Christmas Star, a Seashell Cottage book by Judith Keim. And I did have some qualms with this book, but let me first just tell you, I got this book as a free Amazon read, so it's like beggars cannot be choosers. But we have a woman, let me get the one, Noelle North. Noelle North, her fiance left her waiting at the altar. He was known for like having a lot of money, and he was very materialistic. He leaves her at the altar, so she's just getting some time away at this cottage. And she discovers a boy looking for seashells or on the beach, and when she goes back to his home with him, she sees that his grandmother is being abused by the caretaker. So she tells the caretaker to leave and just like takes over, and then calls the boy's father, who is out of town because they own hotels. And so she kind of takes over as the nurse until the dad can come back. But then there's a brother too, the dad's brother, so the boy's uncle. And at first it felt like the uncle was going to be the love interest, but then it was the dad. The love interest it just wasn't jiving for me. The whole situation was weird because she spent a lot of time hanging out with this boy, and they're making a seashell Christmas tree. I don't know. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't fantastic. I know that's not the most exciting, articulate review, but sometimes when you're given all these reviews in a row, I don't know, maybe I should like in between them. Because the next one I read was Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. And this is something I said I started reading in like 2010. So like this was, I don't know if it came out in 2010. But when it did come out, it was around that era of life, you know? And it came out in 2009, okay? And this was really popular, especially like post-Twilight, because this tells the story of Grace and Sam. And Grace is fascinated by the wolves in her area, and once was even attacked by the wolves, but survived it. And it left her almost being like obsessed with wolves, especially one in particular who she feels saved her, and she views as her wolf. There's a boy in her school, he's not a good boy, but he ends up getting what the town believes killed by one of these wolves. But she sees him, and she recognizes his eyes in one of the wolves, and then the boy Jack's sister sees him as a human. So it becomes apparent to Grace and to his sister Isabel that these are werewolves. These are like wolfman wolves, werewolves, right? Anyway, so Sam is the one who Grace calls like her wolf, and he becomes a human in his human form. You learn about how he goes from human to wolf form, the rules with that, etc. But they are trying to get to Jack because he is new to this form, and they don't know what he is gonna do. I wasn't in love with this book until Isabel got into it more in the second half, and she is the sister of Jack, who is the new werewolf. So I left wanting to actually continue, where in the first half I wasn't sure if I was going to continue the series. So a little bit more about this series. It's really interesting. It almost feels like this is like a wolf town that they live in, where the wolves are a really big and prominent part of it. And Grace, of course, wants the wolves to be kept safe and alive because she's kind of in love with one of them. And you learn all about how they maintain their lifestyle, why they are alive. Did he hit a home run?
Looked like it.
What makes them transform, when they won't be able to transform anymore, and so forth. You also get like a really deep love story between Grace and Sam, and I found the writing to be good. Even though the first half was slow and kind of boring for me, the writing was better than Twilight, but it did not make me as consumed as Twilight did. So unfair comparison, but I'm giving it anyway. So those were all the books I read in July. So it was like a pretty decent reading month. I already have a few I read for August, some in which I will be doing these standalone reviews for, because they're from NetGalley or won in a Goodreads giveaway. So I want to give them a little shout out. But thanks for tuning in to this video. So, you know, because that's a good thing to do. And I'll be back soon. I hope to get back on a schedule of 1 to 2 videos a week now that Bookmas in July is over. And so I hope you subscribe, because, you know, I'll be coming back, maybe even showing you my cat. I still have to work on outros, guys. It is what it is.